In the future, humans have become enhanced with cybernetic upgrades, enhancing various traits like vision, strength, and intelligence. Hanka Robotics is the top company in this type of technology, and it is on the verge of developing a new kind of cyborg that uses a human brain to function rather than an AI. Mira Killian, a young woman who is the sole survivor of the cyber-terrorist attack that killed her parents, is chosen as the test subject after her body is apparently damaged beyond repair. Her brain is put into a cybernetic body with greater strength and agility. Once the process is complete, her designer, Dr. Willett, talks to Hanka's CEO, Cutter. Cutter wants to put Mira in Section 9, an anti-terrorism squad, but Willett feels she is not ready for something like that. A year later, Mira has attained the rank of Major in the Anti-Terrorist Bureau, Section 9, working alongside operatives Batou and Kuze under Chief Daisuke Aramaki. She is seen on the roof of a building listening in on a meeting between Hanka representative Dr. Osman and an African ambassador. Major receives her orders from Section 9 Chief Daisuke Aramaki. In the conference, several geisha-bots start to attack the people in the room, leading Major to spring into action against Aramaki's orders. She goes invisible and jumps off the roof before swinging into the room, and she starts shooting the geisha-bots. One of the geisha-bots hacks into Dr. Osman's neck and kills him. It tries to run away with Dr. Osman, but the Major gets to it. The geisha-bot pleads with the Major not to kill it and says, "Commit to the will of Hanka and be destroyed," but she shoots it. The Section 9 team meets with Aramaki to discuss the attack. They learn that the geisha-bots were hacked from a mysterious source, also uttering the same phrase that the geisha-bot said to the Major. The rest of the team leaves, but Aramaki talks to the Major about her move by jumping into the room. Aramaki tells her that she still has her ghost within her cyborg body. The Major meets with Dr. Willett frequently to fix her body when it's been damaged. The Major has trouble remembering her past, only seeing brief glimpses and flashes. She has been experiencing hallucinations that Willett dismisses as glitches, but she is shown to care for the Major. The Major and Batou are driving around the city. She mentions what little memory she has of her past, which involves her family dying while getting to the country. On the road, the Major sees a hallucination of a burning hut. The Major and Batou meet with Dr. Killian with the geisha-bot body. After learning that the geisha was hacked by an unknown entity known only as Kuze, she breaks protocol and dives into the geisha-bot's AI to try and get more answers on the hacker. The Major finds herself walking through a club with distorted images. She is grabbed by the entity that attempts a counter-hack, forcing Batou to pull her out of the connection. The Major says she knows where to find the hacker. Using the information she was able to gather, the two trace the hacker to a Yakuza nightclub with Ladria, where they are lured into a trap. The Major is pulled into a room by two men who force her to dance while she is handcuffed to a pole and is zapped by a cattle prod. The room also blocks a signal for her to communicate with Batou. The Major then starts fighting the men in the room, kicking one out of the room and leading to a shootout that Batou engages in. He and the Major kill a number of goons before they head off to find the hacker. They run toward a room that is really a trap. A bomb goes off from that room. The resulting explosion destroys Batou's eyes and leaves Killian's body severely damaged. Batou receives cybernetic eyes to replace his damaged ones while the Major's body is repaired. Meanwhile, Cutter meets with Aramaki with anger over the Major doing the deep dive. Cutter is enraged by Killian's actions and threatens to have Section 9 shut down unless Aramaki keeps her in line. Aramaki warns Cutter that he's threatening since Aramaki answers to the Prime Minister and not Hanka. Kuze tracks down Section 9's Hanka consultant, Dr. Killian, and rips her eyes out before killing her. The Section 9 team finds her body, and the Major pulls a drive out of Daline's hand, which contains names of other Hanka associates, including Uele. They figure she is the hacker's next target. The hacker controls two sanitation workers and sends them to kill Uele by ramming their truck into her car. She survives, but the men step outside and try to shoot her. The Major and her partners arrive in time to shoot back at the men. She chases after one man, Lee, as he runs by a body of water. The Major fights him while invisible until Batou shows up and stops her. Lee is interrogated after the hacker's connection is severed. He tells Section 9 that he was on his way to pick up his daughter. The Major shows him a photo of what he sees as his daughter, but it is really a picture of himself. They determine that the hacker placed fake memories in Lee's head. The hacker then speaks through Lee to threaten Section 9 before making Lee jump to hang himself with the cable around his neck. Section 9 member Kuze traces the hacker's signal to a hidden location. The Major and the team discover a large number of humans mentally linked together as a makeshift signal network. Killian is captured, and Kuze reveals that he was Hanka's test subject from the same project that created Killian, otherwise known as 2571, but considered a failure and a freak due to his deformed outcome. The Major sees a tattoo on his chest of the burning hut, like in her hallucination. Kuze says that Hanka took control over their lives instead of saving them. He urges her to question her own memories before freeing her and escaping. The Major confronts Uele over the revelation, who admits there were 98 test subjects before her, but she was the only one to survive the process, and that her memories are fake, implanted ones. The Major appears angry even as Uele tries to defend her position. Cutter has decided that the Major is too much of a liability and orders Uele to euthanize her after she returns to Hanka Robotics. As the Major undergoes the process, Uele instead gives her an address so she can find answers for herself. Uele lets the Major escape, so Cutter shoots and kills Uele in retaliation. Cutter reports to Aramaki that the Major killed Uele and that she must be terminated by any means necessary. The Major follows the address to an apartment occupied by a widowed mother who reveals that her daughter Motoko Kusanagi ran away from home a year ago and was arrested before taking her own life while in custody. She realizes the woman is her mother and the girl she is talking about is her. Her mother does sense a familiar look in the Major's eyes when she looks at her. Unable to process her emotions, she leaves. She gets in contact with Aramaki, who informs her that Uele is dead and that Cutter says she killed her, though they both know the truth. They let Cutter listen in on their conversation as they plan their next move. Cutter sends his men to kill Section 9 members, but Batou, Kuze, and Aramaki all survive and kill their attackers. The Major follows her memories to the hideaway where Motoko was last seen. She meets with Kuze at a hideout which resembles the burning hut. They learn that Kuze's real name was Hideo, and they were originally against augmentations with humans and cyborgs, which led to their abduction by Hanka for use as test subjects. Cutter sends a spider tank to kill the Major and Kuze. The spider tank hits Kuze and damages him severely. The Major leaps onto the back of the spider tank and tries to rip its back open. She uses all her strength, causing her arm to rip off as she destroys the spider tank. One of Cutter's snipers rides in on a chopper and kills Kuze. Aramaki sends his own man, Saito, to take down the sniper to save the Major. Batou recovers the Major, who is still alive. Aramaki then corners Cutter after having spoken to the Prime Minister. Aramaki contacts the Major and gets her consent to execute Cutter. He shoots Cutter 3 times as he falls into his own pool. The Major visits her own grave with her mother, who now knows her daughter is still with her. The Major's voiceover states that she knows there will be more like her, but she knows her enhancements do not define her. She then leaps off a building to her next mission.